Now, it's fair to say that Sony has struggled to compete with the likes of the iPad and Google Nexus 10 with its past Android tabs, but now with its Xperia Tablet Z, which is essentially a 10-inch version of its superb 1080p waterproof smartphone, Sony is ready to fight back. At an impressive 6.9mm, the Xperia Tablet Z is slimmer than most phones and e-readers, and at 495 grams it's also very light, making the iPad 4 look a tad chubby in the process. And while there's no denying that this is a good-looking matte black tablet, it feels a tad unwieldy in the hands. And with a 16:9 screen and surrounding big black bezels, it feels blocky and silly in portrait mode too. It's an odd shape for gaming, and in landscape you'll struggle to get your thumbs anywhere near the middle of that screen. It also flexes in the middle, and the covered headphone jack, micro USB port and micro SIM slot can be a little fiddly. But of course, this is all in the name of waterproofing. The Xperia Tablet Z can handle up to 30 minutes submerged in water, and while the wet finger tracking is good, using a droplet-filled screen doesn't feel particularly smooth, and the matte back will need a wipe afterwards. Now, the Tablet Z sports a very nice 10.1-inch 1920 by 1200 HD display, and like its smartphone counterpart, you'll get on well with it if you prefer a more natural colour palette for your movies and not the punchier, sometimes oversaturated colours found on Samsung tablets. Viewing angles are also great, and text looks sharp, and contrast is superb, just not as superb as the iPad's Retina display or ASUS's bright and vibrant Transformer Pad Infinity. The Snapdragon S4 processor is clocked at 1.5 GHz with 2 GB of RAM. That pretty much means none of 2013's Android games can trouble it, and you can expect fast web browsing, while Android Jelly Bean gets the Sony skin treatment with a few extras like pop-up apps and the usual Walkman music player, Video Unlimited and social life apps built in. And if you must take photos on your tablet, its 8.1 megapixel camera performs well, with the superior auto mode producing crisp and usable images. All in all, the Xperia Tablet Z offers a wonderfully smooth and reliable Android experience. Tricks like double tapping on the screen to wake it up work well, and any lag is more likely to be down to individual apps than the device itself. Micro SD expansion up to 64 gig is also on hand, which you're going to need, as the 16 gig Tablet Z has just 11 gig of usable space. It's also equipped with 4G and NFC, which is all over Sony wireless speakers and TVs this year. There's an infrared blaster, so you can use it as a universal remote. There's a TV side view app for listings, and you can hit throw on your tablet's video content to mirror it on the big screen via DLNA. Now, it might take a while to reduce, but the Z's battery is a huge bonus, and if you go easy on the brightness, you're looking at 8 to 9 hours of regular streaming, browsing and gaming. Pump up that full HD screen to maximum brightness though, and you'll be draining 20% in an hour. Luckily, stamina mode, which kills data-heavy apps when the screen is off, can help you stretch its battery life to that crucial extra hour. So the Xperia Tablet Z is an impressive, thin, light all-rounder, but it's a step behind the best. But if your heart's set on a Sony tablet to match your living room setup, or perhaps its waterproofing is a pretty big deal, then the Xperia Tablet Z's performance, lovely screen and life-saving battery will not let you down. But at that price, next to the iPad and the Nexus 10, for many, the Xperia Tablet Z just simply won't be able to compete.